everybody, and welcome to Cope with Hope. Today I'm going to be interviewing two of my co-stars from Disconnected. Have you seen Disconnected? If you haven't, you must see it. The link is in my bio. 3 episodes are out now. And my co-stars are amazing in it. They're the most endearing couple, though they're not a couple as yet in the show. And in episode 3, Brandon has sung so beautifully, not to be missed, so you must watch it. So Jenn has acted in The Modern Family, The Rookie and The Inherited, and Brandon Scott has a recurring role in 13 Reasons Why, This Is Us, and the Netflix hit series, which is on just now, Dead to Me. So you must watch them in our show, and me in it as well. Disconnected, and remember that the link is in the bio. I'm going to get them on just now to tell us what they've been doing and what hope means to them, and a little bit about what is that one skill or many skills that keep them in balance in life. Let me add them. I'm so excited about this, I can't tell you. I'm dying to talk to them.
This is your first time.
Hey!
Hello!
Hi! I'm so happy you guys said yes.
Yeah, we're excited.
Thank you for the invitation. It's so nice to see you since our very first Zoom meeting in pre-production.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for saying yes. And and taking out the time for this.
Yeah, of course.
Is this your first live?
Yeah, this is my first time.
This is her first live. Her first time.
Wow! So congratulations and welcome to live.
Thank you. Good way to start.
Great way to start. Okay, so let's dive deep into it. I'd like you to tell us a little bit about what you guys have been doing since the lockdown. Over here, it's like 57 days. I don't know how many days it's been for you. And so we'll start with Jenn. Will you tell us briefly what you've been doing since the lockdown and quarantine?
Sure. It's been more than 2 months for us. And I even started it before our governor said to do it, because I'm from Singapore, and I had been in Singapore over the holidays, and I could see something spreading. So it's been quite a while, but luckily, I love reading. I've been reading a lot, watching TV, keeping busy, hanging out with my dogs who are also in Disconnected, who are just make everything better.
Awesome.
Just trying to be present, honestly, more than anything.
Okay. Great.
In every moment, and just enjoy being here. I'm in the garden weeding for the first time in my life. Just doing things to occupy me, but also just being aware that this is a very specific time, and I get to have him all to myself and be with my dogs all the time. So, I can't complain. I've been very lucky, I have to say.
I love it. Being in the present, being very present. That's lovely. And Brandon, what's it been like for you being home for these 2 months?
It's been, I'd say it's been a roller coaster. Like, I feel like towards the beginning, I had all these things that I said I was going to do during this time, this pause. And of course, it was filling myself with a lot of busyness. And then that kind of slowed down. And so just random things. I mean, I've been trying to read, been creating some music, or try to create some music. We've been doing Disconnected. That seems to have taken over a lot of the quarantine. And then same, just hanging. We've been hanging a lot. We watched a lot of shows at first and then ran out of shows. So we'll probably go back to that part of the quarantine where we watch a lot of shows. We'll probably go back there soon. But that's pretty much been it.
Well, we're lucky because I feel like I'm stuck with my favorite person in the world. Yeah. So it's not the same here.
That's
you
lovely.
Didn't have to say it just because I did.
No, we've been having fun. I mean, well, don't considering. I mean, like it's a really tough time, but very lucky to have Jenn and the dogs and each other. So
the dogs are awesome. So Brandon, tell me, how did Disconnected happen for you guys?
Well, Jenn knows Matt, and I guess I know Matt too. But I know Matt through Jenn, and Matt contacted Jenn and told her about the project and said that asked if she wanted to be in it, and then asked if I wanted to be in it. And then I was like, well, I can't imagine sitting and watching just Jenn have to do it all by herself too. And it sounded like a fun project. So, so that's kind of how it came about. And yeah, I ended up saying yes, and Jenn said yes.
The long story short, he basically said yes because he felt like he was going to get roped into it anyway if I did it. So he had no choice. So he was like, might as well just say yes from the beginning. So.
Yeah.
Because it's like seeing your partner, struggling with something. Because I mean, I have no doubt that Jenn would have been able to do the whole thing by herself.
Babe, I mean, for me to be setting up tripods and like doing I'm sure at some point I would have been like, Brandon, can you please help me shoot this?
And I would have wanted to help because I would have seen like, her walking around with a tripod and knocking it into the, and I've been like, okay, let me help you out here. So just decided to jump in early.
Because we genuinely, it's just two of us. So we don't have anybody coming in to help us shoot. So it's been, I don't know what I would have done if he wasn't game for it,
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know you guys were married until I think a week back. So it was amazing to watch you. Yeah, it was amazing to watch your chemistry on screen. And yeah, I've really enjoyed that part of the show, Disconnected. So Jenn, it's been great fun, and I can see that how it's been great fun. I love your role. I love the Chinese, and then you go into English, and and you drive him to drink and song.
I was telling you, I love this section for you guys that you guys transition between languages, which for me is so authentic for somebody who comes from a family that is also bilingual. I'm sure you guys are more than bilingual, multilingual. It's just such a real representative of how we communicate, especially coming from countries that used to be British colonies. So English is very intertwined in there as well, like Singapore was in India, obviously. So I love that. And you guys are wonderful on the show. And that mom character too, I can so relate to that and also see some of my mom in it. Like you guys are so great in it. I'm just waiting for your dog to make it a more of an appearance in it.
Yeah, same here. So Jenn, what does hope mean for you? What does the word hope mean for you?
Oh my gosh, I'm such a sucker for hope. Anytime I can be quite a realist, which translates to being quite a pessimist in this world that we live in. But anytime I see a story, I hear a story, read a book, or see a movie where like hope prevails, you just get me right in the heart, and I just get all like soft and gooey because the hope keeps us all going. No matter how crappy things are, we hope that there will be a better day. And sometimes there is.
Yes.
Not as much as we would like, but sometimes there is. So hope to me is just like, it's so interesting because I think it's fragile and it's also unbreakable at the same time. Two things that are completely opposite. And it's something that I personally do struggle with maintaining, through climate change and everything else and just the state of the world. But you gotta have hope, or else what's
You've got
the
to
point?
have hope.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Brandon, I want you to tell me a little bit about your song, and then I will ask you about hope as well. The song that you've sung in episode 3.
That I have a band. It's called Verbal and Icarus, and that's a song that we have a fully produced version of. And I don't know, it reminded me, I grew up in the South, and I also grew up playing a lot of like classical music. So there's something about that song that it originally started with like a bluesy feel, but then on guitar, I find myself doing a lot of like classical, like kind of like haunting-esque compositions or creations. And so that's kind of like, it was one of those things where it just, I don't know where it came from. It just like, I just started blending the things together and then came up with that hook, and then started composing the rest of the music. And then again, it's a fully produced song, but I think it worked really well for Disconnected somehow, because it's just a song about what is home, where is home, and not being there, and how do you get back there. And
well, especially in terms of, sorry to interrupt, but in terms of Disconnected and where we are now, a lot of us are quarantining separately. You know, like for me, I miss my parents, and that's a big part of it. And or even if you're lucky enough to be with a parent, you miss your friends or your partner or your child is somewhere. So I think the idea of that song Home in the series, especially for our characters at that point, it was just, you can be somewhere physically, and it may be a house that you call a home, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's always your home.
Your home. Absolutely.
You know, so.
It was so beautiful. That song for me was hope.
Oh.
You know, because home, like home, everybody's home is where their hope lies, where their prayers are, where their love is. So, can you just tell us 2 or 3 lines from your song? Would you?
Oh, that's home. Goodness gracious, it's hard to like do the home. La la la, is the place to be. With you, you're my destiny. I say these things here on my knees. Oh, please get me home. And I think you can. I mean, like, I like to write things that, because I use a lot of imagery that that many people, you could like say, oh, what is this about? Is this about a relationship or whatnot? I mean, I think everyone does songs like it could be about one thing, but this one, I feel like you could, like what Jen just said, you could play anything you want on that. It could be about whatever home is. It could be about a person. It could be about
an emotional state.
Yeah, it could be about a dog.
Yes.
But
I love your dogs. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's that song was one that, I mean, I think actually, I don't know, there's something when you were just talking about it, I was like, oh yeah, I don't remember the I feel like that song's been with me for a while, and then I finally like kind of put it down, but I do relate to the idea of, like, because I'm from Alabama, I haven't been leaving Alabama and being in California. There was a period where I was like very homesick, and now that I think of it, I'm like, maybe it came out of that period, because there was a period where I was creating like a lot of songs like that, and I feel like that was a period of wanting just to find my roots again, whatever that meant. So.
Yeah, and I think that's what's happening to all of us at the moment. We're just going back to our roots, you know. We're forced in a lockdown and our quarantine, and you know, that song, going back to your song, when we switched off the TV, I realized I was crying, and you know, like my heart was just melting, and then I just thought that this is really so apt for this time of our lives, because everybody wants to be home. You know, you may be in, as you said, Jen, in your physical home, but you still want to be home, you know, like with your life. So yeah, it was awesome. Thank you so much. And hope. Brandon, what does hope mean for you?
Hope means it's one of those things where I keep wanting to say hope is hope, you know. It's a promise to, I find it for myself, it's a promise to myself that I will find or continue to search for the good and the love, and that it's out there. It's just, sometimes it's like it's like a tarnished mirror. You just gotta like continue to put that oil on it and just reveal it. And so that's what hope is.
You put oil to get rid of it?
What do you do to get rid of that? You put some type of polish.
To nourish it, like the nourishment of it, right? The oil is the nourishment. Yeah.
Or water a flower, whatever metaphor.
Yes.
Yeah. So Jen, what is your watering of the flower of love and gratitude? What
you know,
combines
honestly,
that for you?
Yeah, I really am acutely aware, I hope all the time, which is probably not true, but most of the time, of just how privileged and lucky that I am. So I have a lot of gratitude generally, and it's only when I get mired in the small stuff where I'm like, well, how come I don't have this, or I haven't achieved that, or I didn't get
Yeah.
that chance, or then you just can go on a spiral.
Yes.
And so my mother, this is, I'm sure she doesn't mind, it's a little personal, but my mom had cancer a few years ago and she's fine now. But something
Yeah.
like that, it doesn't matter who you are, or I mean, look at Steve Jobs, right? How much money you
Yeah.
have, like that's something that really can affect anybody. And then you're like, oh, all this doesn't matter. Larger thing, are you connecting with the people you love? Are you telling them that you love them? Are you trying to be as good a person as you can be?
Yes.
Having said that, I fail miserably all the time at these things I'm saying. But, I just have to remind myself that of what really is important. But I would say I'm extremely lucky in many, many respects, and especially in love. I have great parents, I have great family, I have a great husband, I have great friends, and that makes me, I mean, I'm like getting emotional thinking about it. I have so much gratitude for that, and even just to be
Yeah.
healthy, and have everything material that I need and more. Like I just have so much, and it's not me, genetic lottery, or it's a place of privilege you're born into. Even if you can achieve, or an opportunity you get, doesn't mean someone's lesser than you because they weren't able to get it. So I'm acutely aware and have gratitude for all that, hopefully all the time, but probably not.
Okay, Brandon,
What's up?
gratitude and you.
Gratitude. What was the question?
What is gratitude for you? What is gratitude for you?
Again, it's one of those things. Gratitude is something. I mean, I don't know where I'm going with this. It's something I remind myself, or I try to remind myself that I can live in it. If that makes sense. And
Yes.
so I think it's similar to hope. It's like one of those things where whenever I'm in the dumps or whatever, or a place where I'm feeling just depressed or low or whatnot, there's so much gratitude, so much to be thankful for that I can reach and grab. And that's like family, health, love, just the existence. There's so much gratitude all around. So, yeah.
Great. And what is the one skill or skills that have kept you in balance and kept you just together at this time?
Kept us in balance.
No, kept you personally, Brandon.
Oh, me in balance.
And together.
Ooh, am I in balance? That's the thing I keep asking myself. No, but I definitely think that creativity. It's a safe place, and it's a place where I can process a lot of things, and I think that kind of just having the ability to, whether that's through Disconnected or whether that's sitting down and playing guitar, just to kind of, I think us, I mean, not just artists, but I think, a place where I can acknowledge everything that's kind of going on, because a lot is going on right now. And sometimes I want to deny certain things that are going on because I just don't want to admit or come face to face with those. But I think that having a creative outlet to explore some of those things, and whether, like I said, all the different ways that I try to be creative, that's really helped. even baking. I've been baking, and
He's really good.
And for me, that's something that I've grown very fond of. I don't know why, but I think that's a form of creativity and something that, again, I can kind of like just.
So what do you bake?
Oh, I'm doing a lot of desserts.
And
He's so good.
I had a struggle with dough, pastry doughs I was working on, but that was my challenge. And now I've just kind of, I've come to respect the dough.
Tell her the dishes, babe.
I made a dulce de leche apple pie. And
Yum.
Key lime pie.
I don't remember them all. I just remember the dough. The dough was.
Oh my gosh! He makes carrot cake cookies with homemade with frosting. He makes homemade whipped cream to put on top of like fresh fruit tart, key lime pie. I mean, he's so good.
I want some of that.
Yeah, I wish you would be here. He make you one.
Oh, lovely. Okay, so Jenn, is there anything that you'd like to tell our audience before we say goodbye about anything, like about this time, about how to keep yourself afloat, how to keep yourself in a good place?
I mean, this is going to sound a little bit self-serving, but I was going to say for me, with the whole balance thing, is like I am living for Stephen King and Don Winslow and these master storytellers, and just telling stories of like humanity and connection. And you ask Brandon, I do a lot of audiobooks. I'll be like weeping at the end of stories. I'll be like, yes, yelling. And so I was going to say self-serving, because I think in this time, content and storytelling, stories are important. And so I would encourage whoever's watching to tune into Disconnected, because I think we're telling interesting stories of very different lives. And I don't think you're going to see anything like this. I don't think you would have seen it except for in quarantine. And so, and also Stephen King and Don Winslow, but they don't need any hype. They're doing fine on their own. But stories. I love stories, and that's what's been really, still, I just love telling them and listening to them. And being a part of them. Yeah. Yeah. Brandon, do you have any last minute words of wisdom that you'd like to impart to us, besides your lovely song?
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Check out now. Adding to what Jenn said, and then or agreeing with what she said, and then also just take care of yourself. Anyone who's out there, just be kind to yourself during this time. If you can be with an animal, do that, because it's magical. I was gonna say nature. I think that there are a lot of lessons out there, and just if you haven't looked at the stars in a while, or just talk to a tree, or like I'm serious. Just like sometimes just sitting with a tree is so healing. So I guess have a synesthetic response with nature, and then also with your family members. Just kind of like just be kind to them and be in touch with family. So. And that's your biological and chosen family. Yes. Like I feel we're family. We are. We suddenly become family. Yeah. And soon, I can't wait till we're together. I know. And when we're shooting together, because I'm the Matt. I mean, who knows where this? Who knows what's gonna happen? Who knows how everything's gonna get connected? Who knows what's gonna happen in this story? Yes. We don't know. And in real life, it would be lovely to just connect. And seriously, I really feel like we're family. Like everybody in Disconnected is a part of my life and my heart. Yeah. We feel the same way, and it's so. I love tuning in on Mondays and seeing what everybody does, because we're just rooting for everybody, and all the stories are great, and it's just such a treat to see everybody's work. And we know how hard you're working, because we are doing it too, so it makes us feel like we're all in it together, so it's been such a pleasure, and just wonderful seeing it. We're big fans of you and your daughter. Yes. And we're big fans of you. It's a love fest. It's a love fest, and really want to thank Matt and Anton for
putting this together, and a big shout out to everybody in the Disconnected team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Jenn and Brandon. This was awesome. And
Thank you.
here's to meeting like this and otherwise more often than not.
Yes, please.
And y'all are doing well? Everything you're doing well there?
Yes, we're doing well, thank you. We're safe and we're happy and we're connected, and that's what keeps us going.
Yeah.
Great. Good to,
Yeah,
good to know.
yeah. Thank you. Please keep singing many songs for us.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll tell Matt every episode. I need to do it now.
I would love it. I would love it. Thank you. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Jenn. Lots of love to both of you.
Love to
Talk
you.
soon. All right.
Yeah.
Be well.
All right.
Talk
Thank
soon
you
and
very
see you
much.
soon.
Yes. See you
Yeah.
Monday
Monday.
on the screen. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.